Your first impression when you meet an American?
I want to ask you every single question about America that I think. I grew up watching Disney Channel. Is the yellow bus real, you know?
I'm from Italy.
And what do people in Italy think about Americans?
Where there's a lot of bad media about abortion, obviously. It's because of all the news, they can pass a bit as, not ignorant, but a bit like they want to follow the crowd.
Very loud.
A lot more out of the box and extroverted. Usually when you see them in like Europe, you can definitely hear them coming.
What pisses you off about Americans?
I think everyone in the East hates Americans because you guys think you own the world.
Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, Passport Nomad, and before we get started, once again I will have to ask you to hit subscribe, like, and share so you can keep up on all my newest content. Today we will be continuing part 2 of what other countries around the world actually think about Americans.
I just feel like they're just a nice bubbly person and that's rare to find here.
They speak very fast.
American old man, that kind of like ruins my vibe. Imagine like an old American like white man, like, and him sat at a restaurant like arguing with the waitress.
Very loud.
A lot more out of the box and extroverted.
When you walk, are they like, yo man, give me your lunch money or else I'm going to give you a wedgie?
I just feel like they're just a nice bubbly person and that's rare to find here.
They speak very fast.
It's the guy that rides around on the bike that throws the paper onto your front lawn. Is that real?
As you can see in the last video there, we have an interview being held by an American who is now living in the UK, and he's asking the British community what they feel about Americans, their thoughts on Americans as people. And we have a lot of responses and interesting responses, even some stereotypes that they're asking if they're true about Americans. Well, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Later on, I will be reviewing and reading back some of the comments from part 1. So, let's see what the next video brings.
I'm from Italy.
And what do people in Italy think about Americans?
Where there's a lot of bad media about abortion, obviously. It's because of all the news, they can pass a bit as, not ignorant, but a bit like they want to follow the crowd.
What do you mean by follow the crowd?
When Trump was here and whatever he was saying, you know, people would just follow, even though there were crazy things. And with the abortion thing, I think they think like, how is it possible that people are still believing those things and they're following those government things, even though there's so many people protesting.
Yes, that last video comes from an Italian girl who was basically asked about her thoughts on Americans. And one thing that I just don't understand is, you know, you were asked about your thoughts about Americans, not about politics. I have people that are coming in the comments actually going straight to Trump. That's the first thing they think about America is about one man and what he's doing. Trump is not all of America. We have different values, different beliefs. We have different political parties. We all believe in different things, but that's politics, and that's something I don't like to really talk about. The discussion is about Americans and how you perceive Americans when you first meet them, either if you're traveling to America or if they're coming to your country. What are your first thoughts when it comes to Americans once you meet them? That's the question. But moving right along.
What pisses you off about Americans?
I think everyone in the East hates Americans because you guys think you own the world. And
She kind of has a point. She kind of has a point.
You guys has caused enough trouble. Honestly, just go back to America.
Oh!
Tahayati Tare. What do Arab people think of American people? Well, to be honest with you, they think they're very humble, simple, kind, and warm people. Now, what do they think of American policy? They hate it. But believe me, if they had the power that the US have, they'll probably be 100 times worse.
Okay, so the last one before came from a beautiful British young lady, and she basically said a lot of the world has issues with America or Americans, basically because we act like we own the world. We have those among us who are a bit privileged, or they behave like, they run everything everywhere they go like they're the best, all this and that. Just to let everybody know out there, we're all not like that. We have our good and we have our bad amongst us, just like everyone else. And then we have the ones that are conceited, people with egos, all sorts of things. The next came from an Arab, and he was basically saying what he thought about it and what he thinks all Arabs thought about America. Well, I think I'm going to leave it right at that. Arab community, you know what to do. Leave a comment. Leave your thoughts. Well, moving on. Looks like it's that time for best and worst comments of the day, where I get to read your comments and respond back. Beginning with our first comment, which comes from Rob Britt, and he writes, "The American people I have met on numerous visits to the USA from UK have been almost 100% helpful, polite, remarkably generous, and friendly. I don't think they get as wide of a spectrum of education or news as we do, but I am sure other people in their countries think the same as us." Of course, I responded back to Rob saying thanks for your comment. This was a very good response. That comment also received a response from Steve Collusion 894, who writes, "Very well thought out and fair comment. As an American, I thank you for that. We're a mixed bag of citizens and think you'd be surprised at our standard of education in the States. The sky's the limit if indeed you care to learn. Although we probably put more faith in common sense and down-to-earth street smarts than most cultures, we have a rule of thumb, and of course I can't speak for everybody, but it's the content of character is more along the lines of what we think of others. Cheers, partner, and cheers to you, Steve." And here we are, moving on to the worst comment of the day. This next one comes from what I assume to be is an American, who is Alan Gardner 4672, who writes, "I have no interest in traveling. You're wrong. Just because I don't travel doesn't mean I don't know about the rest of the world. Perhaps I have no desire to visit those places. I'm comfortable with who I am and where I am. Most Americans haven't seen most of America. Oh yeah, European history has always been peaceful. Many reasons that the Europeans left Europe were because they wanted religious freedom and a better life. Save that BS for people who are just as delusional as anyone else. From what I hear from most Europeans is that they lack confidence and are quick to put others down who are more optimistic about life. What makes one believe that Europeans' opinions of Americans is accurate? After all, they are opinions and not necessarily facts. Everything I want he means to write from life, I can find here in America. Is it perfect? No. And should it be better? No doubt. Have those Europeans seen the American landscape? I bet most of those people have only seen the Hollywood version of America, thus thinking that they know America. Truth is, I don't want to be any other country. If Europe was so great, why did the colonies rebel and fought for their freedom? How world wars have American bailed out? All right, what he means to write is, how many world wars have Americans bailed out the rest of the world? He says 2, I believe. No doubt America has done a lot of bad things, but we have done a lot of great things as well. From what most people are saying, it demonstrates they don't understand or have a clue as to what America, the USA, is all about. Well, well, well. Mr. Allen, thank you for your passionate response. But out of all the stuff you just said to me, here's the part that caught my attention the most. Mr. Allen, you say in the very beginning, I have no interest in traveling, yet you came to a channel that's based on travel world travel, and you're saying I'm wrong, and you just don't have any desire on traveling. Why are you here? I mean, you said you have no interest in traveling, no desire to travel anywhere, yet you come to a channel that's all about traveling for the purpose of people from different cultures and countries to communicate with each other, understand each other, have conversations with each other, but yet you have no desire to travel. Why are you here? Leaving a comment if you're not interested in the topic. Make it make sense. But anyway, I'm not going to waste my time on things like that. Everybody else, thank you for leaving your comments and your likes. And please help support the channel and keep talking to each other because that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, I just want people to reach out. Traveling is part of the whole idea behind us communicating with each other, understanding each other's cultures, and everybody broadening their experiences, opening their minds, new possibilities, new ways of life, and to learn something from each other. Something that you can't get out of books is a better experience. Thank you for stopping by. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. This is your boy Passport Nomad saying see you next time.